I'm Matthew Forbes, and today we're talking about 2 quick and easy tips getting your reps better conversions on cold calls. Let's get into it. All right, so I'm on with a client earlier this week, and what we heard is like, hey, the rep, it's not going as well as it could go. He's a good sales rep. And I said, hey, let's go listen to the calls. Here we go. And I'd already listened to him, so I already know what the deal was. And there were really 2 very simple things that rep needed to do. Number 1, that rep needed to stop making cold calls on speakerphone. Straight up. I can't believe that anybody does this anymore. Listen, the quality of your voice matters. You gotta go do it right. Do you need the big Shure mic to go make cold calls? No. Did I notice a significant change once I started making cold calls on this microphone? I did. I sound a lot better, but you don't need that. But you do need a high quality headset. You need a noise canceling, hopefully double-sided headset. I have a Jabra that I've been using for a long time, but I go back to older cold calls where I had a Plantronics one-sided, and then I hear reps all the time making cold calls on speakerphone because they just don't want to, or they're out there just straight using their cell phone, right? You can use your cell phone, that's fine, but it has to sound good. You know, what we also hear are people who are outside where there's a lot of wind. Makes no sense. One of the worst things you can do is make cold calls in like a giant room of people without a noise canceling microphone where you can hear all the other people. Like that doesn't work well. Back in the day, there was some merit to that kind of stuff. Now you just sound like you're a spammer, from, India. It is what it is. Like you can't go down that road. So number 1 is you got to get that quality right. Right. And, you got to pay up for those. The really nice headsets, probably $200 these days. Worth its weight in gold, right? If you can book a few extra meetings, if you can get into more conversations because you don't sound like a clown, you should do it. So that's number 1. Number 2, and this one hits home hard, right? And I got this one from my boss, Chris Beal, back in the day. He said, Matt, I was listening to your calls, and it turns out you're from Boston. And I said, yeah, of course I'm from Boston. He goes, nobody in the South can understand a damn word you say. And I was like, oh, okay. What was the story with that? And the answer is I talk too fast. Now, when I go back and I analyze my numbers, and I make tens of thousands of cold calls a year using Connect and Sell. So when I go back and I analyze those numbers, I have a higher conversion rate in the morning. Why? Well, 1, my voice register first thing in the morning is a little bit lower. I do talk to more people in those first couple hours of the day. Right? Because I'm calling higher level people. They tend to answer more, but that's not really why. It's a percentage game, right? The answer is when I am first coming down to my office, I'm talking slower. I'm from Boston. I don't have time. Let's go. Make it happen. But when you cold call, that's fine if I'm calling New York. It's fine if I'm calling Boston. Not so fine if I'm calling Alabama or Atlanta or Florida or out west. People are a little bit slower. So if you have reps who are from New England or just talk fast, one of the things they need to do is just slow down. What Chris told me was, listen, it's not that they can't understand you. He said it's actually physically painful for them to listen to you on the call because they don't understand what you're saying at all. And they know that you're just talking too fast. Like it actually hurts them. It hurts you. It's not that it hurts you because you're talking too fast. Like they don't like it. Like it's worse than that. Right. So 2 things you can do. 1, get the right equipment. Doesn't need to be a microphone like this, although I love making cold calls on this bad boy for sure. And 2, slow down. Slow down. If you start the call slow and then it turns out I'm talking to somebody from Boston, I can always speed right back up. No big deal. But if I start fast, I can't speed. I can't slow down. I've already lost them. Right. So a couple of easy, quick tips for you. Hope it helps. Listen, the rent is due. Go make a call.